Welcome to another episode of AniBreak, the show where we break down the week's hottest topics in anime, manga, and video games. My name's Jason, and this week I have a really good friend on board to help me, let's have some fun at the expense of the industry, shall we? I'd like to invite my buddy Carl on. Carl, how you doing, man?
Meh.
Yeah. Also known as Mr. Conway Stern, among 1,000 other things.
I plead the fifth. I admit to nothing.
Bullshit. There are... Oh... I can't even really get into your background. He's a cool guy and he breaks stuff for a living. Leave it at that.
I am an espionage simulate specialist.
Simulation, my ass.
I've been
Yes, and there will be tons of drinking on this show. So...
Yeah.
Alright, before we... Well, let's forget all that. Let's just jump right into it. We have a few things to talk about. And right off the bat, we're going to talk about, strangely enough, PETA. So, the so-called animal rights group, they're just a bunch of morons is light, to use that. They, every once in a while, like to release parody games based on popular franchises, mostly owned by Nintendo, to try to spread the hatred that people have against, you know, how you should not control animals and blah 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 bull. And their latest endeavor, and I'll just bring it up here, I just know the word for it, it's friggin' Pokemon. They've made a full fucking Flash game for Pokemon, Black and Blue, gotta free them all.
Dude, protesting is a power.
Yeah, it is.
What the hell?
Yeah. Here, let me...
And then you can group hug them.
Yeah.
Like, after you shock the shit out of them and like punch them and protest against them with quote unquote angry swords, then you can give them a group hug.
It's all better. But alright, let's play a little bit of this. I'll turn on the music a little bit. Like they put all music and everything into it. Totally. So let's play. Blah 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 blah. Pokemon had enough. Fight against the power. Blah blah blah. Rah rah.
Fight the power.
You escape your trainer. I thought it was like a drugged out crack whore is what you're fighting against. I don't care how to play.
Yeah, I know. He's got like one bottle.
Yeah.
And discipline is he beats you with a bloody bat.
Yeah. Like, here's the greatest thing. When you fight, you have like your quick attack, your thunder shock. I'll do a thunder shock real quick. Okay. Tail docking, of course. Because everyone wants to tail dock their Pokemon. But I love how like you could add bonuses like group hug and protest.
I know, right?
It's like, what? Choke collar.
The victory message is Pokemon are not yours to abuse. We exist for our own reasons.
Yes. Oh. But yeah, so this is the whole thing, like, I support Team Plasma over here, and it's like, it's not the full game, but it's pretty close. My whole thing about it is like, okay.
Oh my god, the post text is talking about weak arguments and straw man. Jesus Christ, it's like arguing with a feminist.
Well, have you seen who runs PETA?
Dude, I'm telling you, they already don't like PETA. They already have their own bullshit because you know.
Yeah, I'm really surprised.
Okay, but not animals over women.
Now, I'm guessing that Nintendo's already got the lawyers on the bandwagon to go after these people. Because I mean, they've already done. Let's see, Mario Kills Tanuki last year. They had a couple other games. In fact, let me check real quick. Yeah, Cooking Mama. Mama Kills Animals.
Right.
Super Tofu Boy. I know that one's not a Nintendo franchise, but all these other games that PETA has made, and it's like, okay, what in the hell is this doing to promote anything? Because people are going to look at it, okay, it's a parody. Oh, look, you unlocked a video, and it's puppies getting, you know, beaten to a pulp and killed, and I'm like...
Which is why it'll be really awesome when somebody like Jack Thompson sues them. Right? Because if Halo is making the Arizona shooters of tomorrow, then PETA is obviously fueling future generations of, I don't know, animal terrorists. Victimizers.
No, the animal terrorists become PETA themselves, but...
Hey, you know,
Oh, it's ridiculous because they have statements like,
I don't know. Romney is who you call when you want bad attention. Like that's not. Sorry, people in channel are talking.
Oh no, there. On a side note, apparently, if you, I think it was Google, I think big problem, and you go to the images section of Google, it's all Mitt Romney.
Yeah, it's like it used to be if you went to Google and you typed in failure during the Bush child thing, it would come up with a picture of, if you typed in failure, it would come up with a picture of Bush and it had a bunch of links to his shit.
Yeah. But then some of the statements that Peter makes, like, much like the animals in the real world, Pokemon are treated as unfeeling objects and used for such things as human entertainment and as subjects in experiments. The hell?
Yeah, there's totally that episode where, like, I don't know, somebody gets used as a lab experiment. Who cares? They're PETA. They make shit up.
Yeah,
who's gonna argue? It would require you to care.
Exactly. I just have to laugh at just PETA for just, again, giving us something, you know, such a cherished item like this for us to just, you know, completely laugh our asses off at.
Yeah.
But of course, you have to go against Pokemon of all freaking things. Is hilarious.
See? Now we just need Pokemon strippers and Pokemon See, that's what's gonna be. You're gonna be halfway through the game, and like one of the Pokemon's gonna be all like cracked out in some new drug. It's gonna be like the Pokemon crack baby. It's all crawling around, but then it manages to like beat its master and be free, only to die from substance abuse. Sorry, I'm a morbid person.
This is why I'm glad you're on the show, because I need people like this.
This show needs more grotesque insanity.
Okay, well, let's see what we can do here. We can just Google for grotesque. No. All right. Moving on. Let's talk surprisingly stuff about Halo 4. I'm not really 100% looking forward to this because I lost interest in the Halo franchise even before Halo 3. I was like,
I
okay.
lost interest in Halo when they tried to port a first-person shooter to a console. Because, you know...
Hey.
Nobody's figured out that this doesn't fucking work. You know why? Because I can't put a keyboard and a fucking mouse in a console.
No, thankfully they were adapters for that stuff, but...
My God, let's spend millions of dollars trying to, you know, build next-gen fucking graphics shit so that way we can compete with the PS market. Or we could just give them a keyboard and a fucking mouse.
Hey, you will... Trust me, I feel exactly the same way with you on that. My 360 hasn't been plugged in. It's been in a box for well over, I think, 2 years now, just sitting there. I still have games for it. The only games I have is like... What the hell do I have for it? It's how long that I don't even freaking remember. My PS3 is only used to stream stuff on the TV, and that's about it.
Yeah.
But like I was saying before, Halo 4, Bungie is no longer in the picture. Microsoft has their own group now actually handling all that stuff. And they're really pushing the marketing bit for the new game. They have a like a new small web series, Halo 4 Forward Unto Dawn, which actually is kind of cool. It's a live action series. But what's interesting is they have a brand new live action trailer come out for the game October 18th. It's being produced by David Fincher. That name doesn't sound familiar to you? He's the one... Was he director or producer of the movie, Carl?
Producer, I think.
Producer of Fight Club.
Well,
so you have Fight Club producing...
Rather than just be wrong and have people yell at us, let's fucking Google that.
We must be wrong and be... Never mind. Yeah, so Fincher's actually producing Halo 4, just a trailer for it. Not anything about the game, just a trailer. They have Tim Miller is actually directing it, and he was actually the lead visual effects artist on Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, and also The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. So...
With the new one or the old one?
The new one.
The old one.
Not the old one. Not the Swedish one.
The new one.
Now, I'm trying to wonder, how deep is Microsoft going into their pockets to pull these people out just for a freaking trailer?
It's Microsoft. I don't fucking care.
They're almost like trying to buy their popularity. It doesn't fucking work.
It works.
Yeah.
Because as many fucking... If I make Master Chief condoms right now, bitches will buy that shit.
In other news, Trojan condoms took a nosedive in their stock. No.
The same reason why you can buy Yajirobe panties. Girls don't wear them. Motherfuckers just put that shit on their heads. Come on now.
Okay, you got a good point on that. Hey, but I still think Microsoft, they still can't buy their popularity. I mean, look at let's go on a side
The question
note.
is whether or not it actually makes any critical acclaim. The question is, how funny is it going to be when it gets owned as bad as Sony, and then a bunch of fucking Microsoft fanboys are like, "Oh my god, my online content doesn't work."
I give it 2 months, if that. If it hasn't already happened.
Oh well. I'm gonna not continue that thread of conversation.
Yeah. I know. We're getting into something that you're like, yeah.
Yeah, because then we have to talk about Sony, and I can't talk.
I wish I had something to show about this trailer just to see what the hell are they planning for it. They're supposedly trying to keep it top secret. I'm sure by the end of the show we can find it online, but they're going to supposedly debut it on what show is it on?
No, it's probably going to stay relatively secret. I mean,
You think so?
The thing with the Microsoft franchises that have been successful is that they've been so few and far between, at least so far, that they're kind of like the Valve complex, right? Like, hey, we figured out we can make more money by just not releasing the game everybody wants us to come out with.
Okay, good point.
Guys, Half-Life 3 will come out sometime in...
Yeah, exactly.
We'll come out with other shit that you can buy until then, and people will just keep buying it.
Yeah, true. But yeah, it's going to come out, where the debut is on the 18th of this month on Late Night with Jimmy Fallon. Which, okay, I can see that. Of all the late night shows, that's the one to, I guess, would throw it on. Because I don't think this would be a good tie-in for, like, Conan or something like that. Oh, I was going to go on a side trance, but I can't remember what I was going to say. Oh, well. But yeah, so you got two major people in the industry working on a trailer for Halo. And why is this phone going off? Fail, I drink.
Phone. Haha. See, my phone's on silent. It's right there. Both
Yeah, see, this is the house phone, which I'm actually going to pull the battery case out because I can't turn
That's
it
a house
off.
phone. No, I don't have a house phone.
Yeah.
That's how you get arrested.
It's an antiquated thing, I know.
People with house phones get caught.
Damn it. Alright, let's jump into... let's talk about an arcade game. I'm just going to show it. We don't have much information about it. It just looks freaking awesome, and it's going to be something that someone's going to import over stateside, or rip, or it's going to find its way stateside eventually. I have no idea if it's tied in with the new series coming out later this year on, I think, Animax. I'm talking about Initial D Arcade Stage AAX. Full title something. But it's a cool trailer, I like it, and we're going to watch it, so here you go. So it's like every other game, Initial D arcade game out there. A little bit better on the graphics. Michael pointed in the chat that the mountain they were racing on was actually, or a hill was actually in Gunma. So I'm thinking, Carl, you and I should just fly over there, rent some cars, and just go down the actual track. How about that?
Fuck that. We should go over there and buy a fucking crate of, baker's dozen of eggs and sit on the corner and watch the fucking teenage kids that are going to buy this shit instead and try to, do the fucking water challenge or the fucking ramen challenge and drive at 2 a.m. down some hill and throw eggs at them and watch them as they drive off the fucking cliff.
As long as we get it on videotape, I'm all good for this.
Hell yeah. Shit.
YouTube will have a field day with that.
Them and take part in fandom or throw eggs at awesome and then make money off the viral media.
I need to think your way a lot more often. I need to have another beer.
Exploitation.
Isn't that what cons are for?
Nah, it's what life is for.
Okay, good point. We get exploited all the freaking time at cons, though.
Life is a drunk hooker. Fuck it.
Amen. All right. We'll get to
that. It's a video game based on an entire series, and they have a storyline that's as depth as the rest of them that had to make one up.
Mm.
Like, wow, you got free license to steal a storyline and still have a shitty one. Good job.
Hey, but they're still going to make more money than you and I combined.
Yes, this is true.
Yeah. So. All right. Well, let's talk about what's going on. Last weekend was AWA, Anime Weekend Atlanta. This weekend, is a con that I'm surprised I'm actually interested in going. I'm not going to go this year, maybe next year, is actually the New York Comic Con. For a while, they had the New York Comic Con and the New York Anime Festival, and they announced earlier this year they're actually merging all the Anime Festival into Comic Con, so just one big event. But they're still going to have a bunch of anime guests and events and whatnot for it. Some of their guests, Yu Asakawa, now recently most popular known as the voice of Luca, the Vocaloid character. Dan Chu's going to be there. He's everywhere. I'm guessing he's going to be there on behalf of Good Smile Company because they're actually putting a booth at their first U.S. convention there. A couple other people who we got here. Masahiro Ono of Young King Hours. The character designer for Tiger and Bunny, Masakatsu Katsura. I mean, it looks like a decent lineup.
Sci-fi speed dating.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about that. That's they have 2 versions of the speed dating at this thing. I'm looking at their events. They have the sci-fi speed dating, then they have the anime style speed dating. I'm like, speed dating in that genre is just asking for.
We're gonna get a news report because.
Oh yeah.
Somebody's gonna say the wrong fucking Doctor Who pickup line to some chick, and oh god, like,
dude. Well, did you read about any of the news articles that popped up after Anime Boston?
Oh yeah.
How they got like hit.
Off about myself, but it's gonna be the Mochi incident all over again. Like,
oh
watch.
God. Because it's New York, you have, I mean, okay, the comics fans and the anime fans, they might have some overlap, but you know...
Lives in New York, too.
Oh, God, that's right.
See, this is why we can't have a show, because I just speak in tongues and code.
Well, you and I would get it, and the rest of the fans are like, huh? Oh, it's funny. Yeah, no. No, but, my whole thing is that even in, in LA, we had issues with cosplayers. In a normal con, cosplayers, okay, fine, I can understand what they're wearing, I understand the character, I understand why they're so skimpy, because that's relative to the character. And there was problems when they were walking to and from the con and their hotel. Now we're going to put that in New York.
Yeah, but the dynamics of that in New York are totally different. Like, there's...
Like
New York's not like LA. There's... I mean, like, if you can walk around on the street in broad daylight in Greenwich Village and stuff that you can't be seen drop dead in, like, ever in the financial district, which is totally different from, like, the Broadway side, which is totally different from, like, Red Hook. Like, it's weird.
Okay. Yeah, because I haven't been on the East Coast, so I can't,
Yeah, no, New York is like, I mean, don't get me wrong, shit happens, but, like, you can get on the subway and run into Donald Trump. Like, who knows? Like, the subway is the great equalizer,
Yeah. I guess that's similar to over in Japan, especially on the train.
It is kind of like downtown Tokyo. Like if you go to Shinjuku or places like that where like they're real packed in, like there's beat cops on foot, like in between the alleys. So like if you were to just haul up and deck somebody in a shop, like there's somebody to arrest you, right?
Okay.
New York's kind of like that. Like they have like, they don't have drive-bys in New York. Like people tuck.
I was gonna say there's not much room to have a drive-by in. But...
Yeah, and that's why. So like they have, like the knife laws there are crazy, and like there are cops like on the street. Like they actually have beat cops who like walk around and arrest people for doing shit. Like it's different.
Okay. Have you actually been to any have you been to any anime convention on the East Coast?
Oh yeah, I went to.
So I'm trying to think if that would tie into with that. So
I did one in Maine actually.
Okay.
After a gig. That was a weird experience. Holy shit. It was the only time I'd ever seen, like, somebody was there and, like, their family had a farm, like, had a dairy farm, and they were, like, from way out of town. And I was waiting on, like, seafood or some shit like that. But, like, they showed up to con dressed as some show. I still don't know what the show is. And, like, they had a butter churn at their booth. I have no idea.
Okay.
It was a weird experience.
Hey.
It was a very weird experience. But, no, I did a con in DC that was next to ShmooCon, which was kind of funny.
Oh, KatsuCon.
Yeah, KatsuCon.
Yeah.
After like they had a complete GR failure and like asked some people we know to work there, and we laughed at them and poked fun at them because that's what we do because we're horrible people. And like a bunch of people I knew snuck in. Like the voice of Dean Venture was there, and like we got lost to like fake one of his badges and like get him completely hammered and like drag him into their dance, and like we had a bunch of like completely illegitimate women up there dancing on stage. Like yeah, it was fun.
I need to go to cons more like that.
Yeah,
What was that? Was that your phone?
That was the bad phone.
That was the bad. Oh, okay, yeah. We won't talk about that. Let's move on. So the New York Comic Con's going on this weekend. If you guys are on the East Coast, go check it out. Let us know how it is. I'm interested in how it's going to turn out this year. There's actually a decent number of people going. Let's talk Treyarch. So, yeah, okay. Let me give the story. Let me get the story, and then we'll bitch about it. So, you have design director David Vonderhaar. He apparently is baffled by fan issues with the game engine. So he was speaking to the official Xbox magazine about
Oh
Call
no,
of
he
Duty.
wasn't baffled. He was mad because people were bitching about it.
Okay, I'm getting to that.
Sucks.
And people were complaining about the game engine, and his response was, "It runs 60 FPS. What exactly is there to be upset about?" The man doesn't understand his own goddamn game engine.
The man doesn't understand computers, like, at all.
I'm just sitting there going, what? Why? It's not all about FPS. I mean, yes, you get,
First of all, if it was about FPS, you just fucking failed, seeing as how I can go to Best Buy and spend less than $1,000 on a 120 hertz TV that does 4 times that, moron. Like, okay. Second of all, FPS. Okay, so my laptop screen is supposed to run the same frames per second as my phone, even though it's a quarter of the size, but the resolution's supposed to be the same.
Mm.
Configurable engine physics much? Like, yeah, no comments of color density or relapse or the control schema or how the fact that the hitboxes make absolutely no fucking sense and it's supposed to be a fucking clone. Like,
this whole thing on his mind is basically, what did he say? At this point, that engine doesn't resemble anything like any other engine before. We've ripped out the UI system, the rendering, the lighting are all new, the core gameplay systems are all new. I bet you if you sat him down and asked him every single part of what he just said, he would have no idea what he's talking about.
Oh no, like,
he's just a freaking PR person on this.
No, it probably is all new. I mean, I could go buy a go-kart right now and okay, I could go buy like a Ford Geo and then rip out the engine and convert it to electric and put a go-kart motor in it with an electric diatribe and 4 batteries. And the batteries would be all new, and the fuel regulation system, since it would be electronic, would be all new, and all the DAPs would be all new, and it would still be a polished, well-funded, relatively well-marketed, absolute piece of shit, but it would be all new.
Yeah, but see, the difference is about that. This person is part of that company. He should know about this.
No, I mean, like, throw a fake resolution out there. Say it does gamma in density the same way that that Valve does. It's ass compared to what Valve does. People don't need to know that. Like,
they'll take your word for it on that.
Why did they stop lying to me? Right? Like, there's no lie here. You just told me everything's new. You didn't panhandle, sell something. Jesus. Even hookers shake their ass on the street. Jesus Christ, man.
Then again, I highly doubt these comments are ever going to deter anybody from buying the game whatsoever. I know I'm not going to buy it because I'm not really a Call of Duty fan, so... My dog's barking. Whatever.
They don't need my money to make millions of dollars.
Yeah, exactly. There's tons of other people out there who are going to buy that stuff anyways. It just kind of dumbfounds me.
I hope they make all the money in the world off their shit product, then get owned, because then I get paid.
That's true. That's very true.
and I am a whore. I like money. I am not against ripping people off. So whatever.
As Japan Jockey in the chat says, is buying it for the zombies. Yeah, there's always a zombie mod in every single game out there nowadays. I mean, what's the biggest one out there right now? Is it DayZ for Armor 2?
Yeah, I was gonna say DayZ is probably the biggest one.
But I know Call of Duty has their zombie mode.
COD has one. Apparently Battlefield has one. I think there's one for Half-Life Source, like the re-release thing, something?
I thought it's called Left 4 Dead.
No, there's like there's Left 4 Dead, and then there's like zombie mod, because, zombies.
Yeah, true. Very true. I missed Left 4 Dead. Needs to be a new Left 4 Dead coming out after Left 4 Dead 2.
Oh, well, wait a while. I'm sure they'll get broke for money and bastardize.
Well, speaking of Valve real quick, the big rumors right now is that they're going to release some sort of hardware now. You might know better than me on what that could possibly be.
No idea.
You have no idea on this? Because they're saying, oh yeah, here's you can actually sign up for a survey to be possibly chosen to beta test some of their hardware, and I'm like,
nope, no idea.
You're being oddly quiet on this.
OnLive's out of business. Let's say that.
All right, gotcha. Enough said. Okay.
I didn't.
3 letters. NDA.
No, I'm not under an NDA. I don't officially. No.
Yeah, we're not gonna get into it.
I don't work there. They're not a client. I don't. Nope.
We'll see what happens when it finally comes out, and we'll all know what you actually know right now. So.
Nope.
Let's jump.
Which is good. That's what I know.
See, I have Shock Top. I mean, it's a good beer. I enjoy beer, but it does not beat what you have right now.
Scotch.
Yeah, Scotch. Anyways, all right, we're getting off course. Let's jump to. Let's talk AMVs for a bit. Let's start off with Akross. So AkrossCon 2012 registration is now open. To explain AkrossCon isn't really a convention. It is basically, I would say, the world's best AMV contest. Let's see. Let me give you some of the rules on. Well, rules really don't say much. First off, anybody can compete. You know, any AMV creator.
It's also really awesome because it's fucking Russian, but like since the community is so international, it's like everybody competes in English.
Mm-hmm.
So you so you get like entries where people try to blur out the swear words, but since they don't speak English natively, they don't actually know what the swear word is.
Yeah. So, like those blur out like about, and it's like
yeah, or like they'll blurt out like mother because they only hear like motherfucker a lot, and then like there's a phrase at the end of it where it's just like, you know, a minute and a half of like the artist just going fuck 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 fuck, and they think that's fine because they have no idea that that's not okay.
Exactly.
Kind of funny.
Perfectly fine. Yes.
Yeah.
To give an example of how crazy some of these people enter this contest, one of the biggest people or AMV creators that is known in the States is Nostromo.
Yeah, I know.
Go ahead.
I don't know what he's entering, but I know he's entering, and his entries usually take somewhere between 4 and 6 months to complete. So,
right. And the thing is, if he entered any of the contests stateside, he just win all of them just like that, no problem. He doesn't always win in Akross. There are people who beat the living crap out of his entries. It is insane how epic these creations get.
It's also really cool because their categories are really based on stylistic nature of content rather.
I love the fact they do that.
Yeah, like I don't know. I would really like it if more of at least more of the American anime scene picked up on things like the psychedelic category. I think is really
the psychedelic
cool.
category is freaking good.
Like, you know, they're all of the American con scene kind of seems to have this dissonant block between like action drama and then like the good ones, and like the good ones kind of don't get categorized, which it does. It kind of cheapens the overall experience when you take a step back, you know what I mean? Because there's this expectation that like a fan video or a video made for fan reasons, or a video not made to quality, not made to spec, not made to be a full presentation in and of itself, it's just kind of going to be this kitschy thing, and that's going to get an award. But then like, you know, the real ones are off in this corner. Well, then your whole contest is not, you know, the higher quality stuff. Like, you know, you've cheapened all your entries. I don't know.
Exactly. It's interesting, like, because they have such epic people that enter this, and they put so much time into this. For one of the things is, if you enter a video into Akross, it cannot be viewed online anywhere for what is it, 6 months before, 6 months after, or something like that, a full year. It's something ridiculous. But yeah, I think what they would do, like, you know, best psychedelic. There's what other nominations are there? Most original conception. Best technical work, best design of visual effects. So it's not even caring about if you're trying to, you know, put together like a story one. It's basically how technical you get.
Everything's on the same grade level, and you just win a category. It's you know what it's like? It's like a field show competition.
That's a really good way to put it. Yeah,
it's like DCI, right? Everybody competes on the same merit, but you get awards based on which thing you did best. And then, you know, if you add all the things together and your score is very good, then you win. But the idea that like there's this pre-separation of competition before you even compete for the same quality of general merit is just, it doesn't exist. Why is there Windows boxes appearing next to your head?
Oh, sorry, my bad. Yeah, he's saying, I was looking up because I have a bunch of the Akross videos down. I'm like, what video should I play?
I'm just like, oh my god, we're getting owned. It's happening. Check in.
What was nice is that if you go to akross.ru, so it's akross.ru, you can actually view the videos of previous contestants.
Like 20 minutes.
What's up?
I said now Troy joins the chat after we've been talking about AMVs for the past 20 minutes.
I told him about before the show we were going to jump into that, so.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't checked it out, check out Akross, akross.ru. Go check out literally the best of the best you can find on the internet today. This easily beats out, in my personal opinion, better than 95% of the stuff you find on animemusicvideos.org, just for the sole fact that the top 5% are usually from Akross. So,
well, and the general, I mean, as far as AMV competitions go, like the best ones that I know of are all online. There's actually a few that are starting to come together on YouTube, believe it or not. Now that
Really?
YouTube supports high def, there are actually people posting, like, I'm trying to remember some of the name, but like, what is it? Something Illusions or Unified Illusions or whatever, did something in 2011. And it was just, the quality of work was amazing. Like, it was Akross quality. It was crazy good. And it was, yeah, it's just the way they do it is the judges themselves actually get together, who 9 times out of 10 like studios themselves, studios themselves, and they'll make like a promo video that explains all the rules and how to enter and stuff like that. So they'll make this like badass like AMV, to advertise their AMV contest, and then stick it on YouTube. And the way you enter is you post your video on YouTube, and then you just
as like a video response to it, and that get okay.
And they judge it, and it's actually kind of cool. Like, unfortunately, it's kind of left the con world, which is kind of cool, because I think that kind of denies access to some of the other like would-be potential fans. But like, no, the people that are hardcore, the people that really have shared love for the genre for a while, like there are some blossoms out there that are like, internationally, there's a lot more stuff than stuff that's local in the States. Like, I know there's a localized written animation contest that happens in Denmark that has an AMV contest where all of the submissions are done by USB key drop day of, but everything's FLV and it's all live play. And they have this one year they have this this setup where it's like a bunch of different TVs in a room, and everybody kind of walks in a corner and has their own little viewing station and like views it, and the qual voting is done in real time. So if somebody walks in with a new video, and it pushes something out of the top 10, they drop that one out of, easy viewing, and they put the other one up. And like, there's tons of wacky little competition models out there. I know there's a couple of big video conferences in France, and then like also anime in general, like AMVs are kind of a thing in short animation, like short film contests outside of the States. Like in the States, they're kind of like that's AMV. That's it's like American wine or American champagne used to be, right? Like, any of the international connoisseurs would be like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's only here, where AMVs are kind of relegated to like this nerdy fan thing that only like, people care about. Like internationally, you can send an AMV to a short film contest and get critical acclamation. Like, it's a big thing. It's a much bigger thing than here.
Damn, I wish it was more like that here in the States. Which is why I'm glad that most of the stuff is actually merging more towards online. So even though I can't go to a con and see this quality not really that often in the stateside, you can actually still go online and actually view what the rest of the world's seeing.
A lot of the content is still coming from the internet, right? Like, yeah, you get permission to do whatever, but there's still like the legal gray area. So, it still happens on the internet. I don't know. I wouldn't say there's no market for it here. It just hasn't been done. So, we'll, without making a political statement, we'll just say we'll see.
That's a good way of putting it. Okay, we will see. You were saying there's actually another thing about AMVs you want to talk about, one of the processes, or? Oh no,
not really. I mean, okay. I've been dabbling in that field myself recently. I pumped out my first AMV. I've yet to render it because it turns out that I somehow managed to spin the ball bearings out on my CPU fan on my edit rig.
How the hell did you do that?
I don't know.
Did you kick it too many times, or?
The drugs. It must be the drugs. It's over there. It's sitting there. Like, I mean, you can see that's it over there.
All right.
But yeah, I'm not exactly sure how I did that, but somehow I run the bearing off on the fan, so it'll run perfectly until one of the balls inside the bearing will slip because it's missing a few balls, and it'll slowly slow down to a halt and then spin itself back up again. And then the time it slows down, depending on what I'm doing, like rendering, my temperature rating will go from somewhere below 45 degrees Celsius to 91 degrees Celsius in about a minute.
Yeah, that's called screwed. Time to replace that fan.
I need to upgrade it anyway, but like, yeah, I'm gonna have to find a fan to even edit the project.
Wait, is this your God system that's actually causing this?
Yeah, it's 128 megs of RAM, or 128 gigs of RAM. Like,
see, I thought it was nice when I had 24 gigs of RAM, and then you just for
a while.
Yeah. All right, well, we can rant about AMVs all night long. We might just get back to that in a future episode. So, if I can get you to come back on another time. Let's talk about some other things real quick. Elfen Lied, epic series.
Because we really needed to watch elementary school kids rip heads off of each other and then have raunchy naked sex in 480p in Blu-ray.
But it's in Blu-ray.
Hey, Blu-ray is more cool.
Yeah. Well, because I don't have it on DVD, but in Japan they're actually going to re-release the series on Blu-ray December 19th. The Blu-ray box set will include the 13 TV episodes, an OVA, and an exclusive manga from the original mangaka, which is interesting because, if I remember correctly, the the manga itself had 170 chapters in it, and they somehow shrunk that down to 13 episodes and even added some original content. So it makes me wonder, is this manga about the continuation of the anime series or the continuation of the manga series? Because they went completely different paths at about episode 7.
Yeah. I don't know. Wow. That's...
So, if anything, that'd be cool to find somewhere online, just the manga part. I wouldn't mind having it on Blu-ray just for the sole fact it'll be nice to have a physical copy of it rather than just on my hard drive. Not at this price, though, because it's going to be sold in Japan for 16,800 yen. So about 180, 185 bucks, not including shipping. Then again, Blu-rays in Japan are always fucking expensive, so...
And then they get seated on the internet.
Yeah, and then they get seated on the internet. Thank you, internet.
Oh, internet.
But yeah, it's going to be... I can't see how they're going to, like, raise the quality of it, because... What was the I forget what the source was, because it wasn't cells. It was actually, if I remember correctly, it was digital. I'm trying to figure out what the source was on Elfin Leaks. I don't think it was on cells.
Well, I know it was standard TV resolution, so...
No, so probably just 480 then, because back then it was still 4:3, so...
Yeah, I mean, it's TV. It's not, I mean, there's no serious definition going into the quality, to be honest. I know that.
Well, I was wondering how they're going to be, if they're going to try to upscale it, or are you going to start seeing, like, artifacts in it or whatnot, so...
They'll probably smooth it. They'll probably do frame smoothing, video smoothing between the dace frames, but who knows? As
long as they keep it 4:3, I'll be happy with that. Unlike, surprisingly, I picked it up, I forget, over a year ago. I picked up Chobits on Blu-ray for like $20 at Fry's one day. And the original was 4:3. The Blu-ray was 16:9. And it didn't look stretched at all. It didn't look zoomed. They did some
maybe the original. Well, it depends on how they designed it, right? They may have designed the original file in 16:9.
It's quite possible, yeah.
Because I know they do that for a lot of shows.
Yeah.
Like even in like non-animated, like just regular TV shows. Like I know Weeds, right? Like all of Weeds is actually in 16:9. They just don't release it that way.
Huh?
Didn't release it that way. Now that it's over. God, it was a weird show.
See, Michael says, well, if they have all the original data files, they should have, all they have to do is to scale it. Yeah, true. That's very true. But still, it'd be nice to see random acts of bloody violence and nakedness on a big screen. So
Blood.
And all I have is a 55-inch, not your 70-inch you have in your living room.
I got a TV in here now, too. I got a 64 over there. And my 5 monitors on my computer. And then,
we're not going to talk about your rig. That'll be a whole discussion in itself.
There's nothing else in my house but technology. Technology and clothes and, beer.
Well, you got to have the beer, so.
Well, and, herbal refreshment.
Anyways. Let's talk about... we'll show this trailer. I know I'm going to screw this up. I keep on screwing up this company's name. UFO Table or UFO Table. Recently famous known for Fate Zero. Showcased a trailer for their new project. It's actually a movie on a magical girl franchise that... I don't know. It's definitely not what I would expect from from UFO Table after seeing Fate Zero. It's called Majoko Classical, and it's about... What is this? It's about 2 minutes long. Not gonna give too much away about it. We're just gonna show it and enjoy. I think Michael's right. It almost looks like...
No, it does. It looks like the people who made Dot Hack Sign made a Ghibli movie.
CyberConnect 2 wishes they could make something like that.
Strange things are afoot in the chat.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Jason, tell us stories from your GameStop days. Oh dear God, no.
None of those are repeatable in polite company.
No. A lot of my backstory is not repeatable. No. So all we know really much about it's based on it's be a magical girl. It's collaboration with Star Child, and that's about it. We don't know anything beyond that. Even we don't even know the date that it's going to be released. So hopefully we'll find some more information. Here's what I'm finding though: if Gen Rabaki, I believe, is the writer for Fate Zero, if he had any say in this, that little girl is going to die, which means I'm going to watch this movie. So, that's me.
Yeah. Could be cool.
Yeah.
You know, maybe we'll get Grave of the Fireflies Part 2. Who knows?
It needs a sequel. More death.
I just stick that on somebody. I forgot who it was. Somebody was talking to me about depressing shows, and they had just seen what was it? They had just seen Psychono or something, and they were like, "Oh, yeah, it's the most depressing show ever." And I'm like, "No, it's bad, but it's not that bad."
I mean, I was stupid enough that I was depressed when I decided to marathon Psychono. That was a really fucking stupid idea. But yeah, this doesn't hold candle to Grave of the Fireflies.
One of these days, when I learn what the hell I'm doing, I'm gonna make an AMV to Barefoot Gan, and people are just gonna fucking tar and feather me out of the stage. It's gonna happen.
Oh, what was it? Oh yeah, so I'm gonna hit this on you right now, Carl. Probably in the next couple of weeks, I want us to we'll be online, but I want us to do like a short review on a new review, because it's Halloween. We want to have something scary or just messed up. So you and I are gonna watch Petite Cassette
while doing Power Hour.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm down. I'm down. That's wow. People are gonna throw things at the screen.
And we are not liable for it, so it's all good.
We should also invite. You know, we need to do a class. Okay. So we keep telling this joke about Power Hour, but I don't actually think anybody watching it.
Okay, yeah. Let's explain Power Hour. Yeah.
So Power Hour is when you take we'll call party quality beer, right? So like Corona or worse, you know. So it's got to be Bud or Coors or whatever. I prefer Corona because pretty much anything else is just so bad I immediately vomit upon smelling it. And you pour it, you get enough of it such that you and your party of, mad crazies can pour shots of it, and you put music on, and you use some sort of timing mechanism, whether it be a regular timer or music or what have you, and you pour beer into the shot glass, and you do a shot of beer every minute for an hour.
Now, on the side note, have you ever heard of a girl named Ali Spagnola?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have her album, her Power Hour album.
Oh God!
I'll put a link in the chat. Yeah,
I have the Keith Myers fucking Power Hour set, but that then we'll die. Yeah, there are variants on Power Hour, including P90 and P90X. P90 where you do 90 minutes instead of 60 minutes, and P90X being where you do P90 twice.
Oh God!
You get a bathroom break in between, because it doesn't seem like it would be really all that hard to drink a shot of absolute shitty beer,
until you actually do it.
But yeah, the shots aerate as they hit your stomach, so it's being able to sit there. Oh, and you can't get up to use the restroom at any time. You can't vomit. You can't use the restroom, and you lose. And it's a lot harder. Trust me, the timing has a lot to do with how you digest it. It's a lot harder than it seems.
Michael has a good suggestion in the chat. We should do a Power Hour MST3K hentai.
We could do that.
We've done that before. One really bad hentai where the clothes are off, the clothes are back on, the clothes are back off again.
We could also do a Power Hour to an AMV reel. That could work.
AMV Zero or AMV Hell?
Absolutely nothing but enemies, because we would talk mad trash on a bunch of
But it would be awesome. We should do it.
Yeah.
All right, we'll have to do that sometime. But yeah, we're definitely going to do a Power Hour. It may be to an AMV, it may be to hentai, it may be to La Petite Cassette. If you haven't seen that, go find that online or go buy it on the DVD. It is trippy as all hell.
Yeah.
It is definitely a mindfuck. It's only 3 episodes long.
It's definitely not a show. Well, it is definitely a show to watch on mushrooms. just gonna throw that out there.
All right. Well, we're gonna talk more about that in the short post show. But I want to wrap things up real quick. A lot of people, if you've been watching the show, I've been essentially fanboying over Production IG's latest series, Psychopaths. It looks epic. It gets mixed in with Minor Report minus the precogs. It could be cool, but then again, I've yet to come across a production IG series that I did not like. My favorite series of all time is still Ghost in the Shell, Standalone Complex. So
Yeah.
and a lot of people were wondering who's going to bring it stateside. A lot of people were thinking Crunchyroll or maybe even Viz. Funimation has finally, is it yesterday? Yesterday, actually announced they are going to be streaming it starting. Really? Tonight? Tonight. Cool. I can watch it after the show.
Yeah. Drinks.
Yes, more drinks. I still have 3 beers left, so. Well, it's actually, they have several different series. They have Codebreaker, which a lot of people liked. I'm going to check that one out. Kami-sama Kiss, not really about, it's a shoujo. Jormagon Season 2 they've picked up, which makes me wonder who's going to pick up Season 1, because that's an epic, epic, epic series. They're picking up Psychopaths, like I said, and Robotics Notes. Funimation is like really bringing like the top series for the fall season. Stateside, like I think they're going to be Crunchyroll this season.
We shall see. There's a lot of art. There's a lot of art stuff coming out.
There is.
Yeah, like a lot of the licensing on the Genius Party stuff that just finally got licensed. Like that stuff's rad. Like there's a lot like that flies under the radar.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of stuff falls under the radar.
But at least some of this stuff is actually starting to come stateside. Or at least stateside faster than we normally get it at. The usual rate was, what, 6 months to a year, if that? And now it's like, oh, we'll get it in a week. Okay, cool.
Right.
It's so nice.
Yeah, if I actually watched licensed stuff, I'd be pissed. Wait, did I say that?
Well, we got to act somewhat professional on the show. What am I saying? This is an internet show. We don't have to be professional.
Yeah, I don't even have to steal it anymore. I still work for AX.
Oh, that's right, you do. Have fun with that.
They have a room for that.
That's true, and I'm here. My name is still Mud there, but anyways.
there is no Mud there.
Yeah, we won't air that drama here. So for all you fans who've been wondering who's going to pick up Psychopaths, Funimation has your back on that. It's going to start actually tomorrow at 11 a.m. So go check that out tomorrow. A couple of their other series are going to start tonight, like Codebreaker and Kami-sama Kiss. But that's going to be about it for this episode of AniBreak. Carl, I really thank you for jumping on. You're going to jump on for a few more episodes, right?
Sure. I can sit here and drink and talk more bullshit.
Entertaining as all hell.
All maybe one of these times I'll actually prepare something for the horrid viewing of the viewers.
That would require me to prepare something for the show, so no. We grab topics, we grab articles, and we talk about them for an hour. That's what happened in the show.
Word.
Yeah.
Word.
All right, everybody. Well, we'll have a short post show where we'll just blab on for another 5 or 10 minutes. But thank you very much for joining for this episode of AniBreak. I'm Jason, and for Carl, thank you very much for joining. We will see you next week. Later. I'll see